So I hope you had fun making the knight picture for our end page of our alphabet book. Obviously the next letter is O, and for O we're going to be making an octopus. You have a couple options. You can just make one on your own. You can download the paper I'm going to send you. You could color this purple. You could print it out on purple or pink, or you can just freehand it and make an octopus the way you'd like it, as long as it's not too big. Remember, probably not bigger than a 6-inch diameter circle for the octopus. Diameter means the distance across the circle, okay? So no more than 6 inches wide. So I thought of another idea. If you don't want to print it on purple or pink paper and you're kind of tired of using crayons and markers, if you have some paint around, you can take this paper and sponge paint the whole thing the color you want of your octopus. Before you do that though, definitely cut out the eyes so they don't get paint on them. That way these stay white like this, and then you keep this to sponge paint, which I'll show you next. Okay, so I have a little purple paint. I actually found some here. If you don't have purple, but you have blue and red, you can mix it to make purple. Start with red and add little drops of blue until you like the shade of it. But if you start with blue and add red, it's probably going to be too dark. So start with red, add drops of blue. Okay, I'm going to sponge paint this. So I just got a sponge out of my kitchen. I'm dabbing it in the paint. And I'm just going to kind of sponge paint it like this. And I definitely want to sponge paint it before I cut it all out. That way it can dry. Okay. Just keep sponge painting the whole thing. Looks pretty cool, and I like the texture it gives. It'll be a great texture for our octopus, right? Something a little different. Okay, so you're going to keep sponge painting. And you're probably going to need to let that dry for a few hours. You can work on something else while it's drying, or you can just set it aside and work on it more tomorrow. Okay, so my octopus is dried and I'm just about done cutting it out. I cut out the circle, that's going to be its head. And then I'm cutting out the tentacles. There's going to be 8 of them. And then I'll show you how you can do crinkle folding to make it look really cool. You can do a couple options. You can do this back and forth fold like this. It's kind of called an accordion fold, so that it gets like that. Actually, that's what I think we should do. I think we should accordion fold all of them like that. Okay, so I finished accordion folding all of my tentacles. I cut out the eyes and glued them down. I'm ready to start gluing the tentacles to the octopus. So to do this, it's real simple. I'm just gonna flip this over and I'm gonna put dots of glue along here where I want the tentacles to go. I'm not gonna glue the whole back because that would make it a big, gluey mess, and we don't want that. We wanna keep it real organized and neat. So dot, 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 dot of glue. I have 8 tentacles, so I only need 8 dots. And I'm not putting dots of glue at the top, because if I did that, that would look like he's having tentacles coming out of his head, out of the top of his head. So I'm just gonna do my 8th one, so it's just on the bottom half, okay? And then what I do is I can set these in the glue, like that. I'll just kind of, they might even overlap each other a bit. Right now, you're just seeing what it looks like on the back. But after we turn it over, it's gonna look amazing. Almost done. All right, make sure we get enough glue on there. One more right here. Okay. And then when I flip it over, ta-da! And it just needs one last final touch, his smile. Oop, there, and he is so ready to glue in our book. His tentacles might lob out over the page a little. That's what makes it kind of fun. That's perfectly fine, like that.